and welcome to the class of 1988's celebration. Audience, I'm sure if you all think back a couple of years ago, you have experienced one or two graduations of your own, either from high school, college, the military, or maybe even nursing school. And tonight, this class has the opportunity of sharing with you the feelings of joy, excitement, sadness, and especially the proud feeling of accomplishments. Now, if we all think back to our childhood, we can remember either hearing, seeing, or learning from friends, family, maybe through our parents or through books of some famous heroes. First, there was Santa Claus, there was the Easter Bunny, and maybe even Superman or Wonder Woman. And of course, there was Jesus. Now, I know most of us believed our parents when we were young. We would believe most anything they would tell us. I, for one, believed almost anything that anyone told me. Got me in a lot of trouble. My father had some great tall tales from the Korean War. One day I noticed a scar on his knee. It was rather large, and I asked him where he had gotten that. And he told me that he'd gotten across some Korean man with a bayonet. And the guy jabbed him in the knee. I was like, whoa. Well, I thought he was pretty brave until my mom told me that that scar was from knee surgery. Another time, I noticed he had a scar on his arm and on his forehead. I was sitting down, and I asked, I said, well, Dad, what happened then? And he says, this scar is when I was shot with a bullet, and it came out of my forehead. I believed the man. He was a hero. Well, until I grew up and I found that a lot of people had the same scar, and it was from the vaccination shot. And the scar on his head was probably from some girl hitting him with her purse. Who knows? Anyways, in Sabbath school we learned about Jesus, and I believe that he was the best hero ever. He was Superman and Santa Claus rolled up in one. He was even better than the Fonz. Learning about him was the greatest. I mean, he was kind and gentle in every way. I never questioned anything about him, not even his looks, because we had a picture to look at. Never questioned who he was because we could read his ways, his rules, stories about him, or were told to us. We believed and trusted in everything about him, without any questions. But as we grew older, we began to get older and wiser, and we saw the mistakes and experiences that others had gone through. There. We began to become confused and frustrated, and we asked, why are all these troubles happening to me? Well, I've been told that he doesn't want us to go through them alone, and he doesn't want them to happen to us, that he wants us to go through these for a good reason. Maybe we have felt that he's backed us into a corner at some points, like tonight, but it's like he wants us to look up. We need to understand what he wants for us, and in order to do this, we need to invite him into our lives. God has promised to walk through the fire with us, but we need to invite him and to allow him to. We need to accept our trials and tribulations and use them to our advantage in the future, maybe to help others or ourselves. As a class, we have chosen the aim together in Christ, the one friend we all share. I think the best example of this aim was when 3 seniors decided to give their life to God. We were there to share Lena and Shannon's at Senior Survival. And earlier today, Christy Hall decided to give her life to Christ. We are real proud of these girls. It isn't easy to admit that you've chosen God and his ways for fear of not being accepted, or maybe being called a goody-goody. Eugene Baldwin quotes, "Life is like a grindstone, but whether it grinds us up or polishes us depends on the stuff we are made of." I think we all have passed the stage of peer pressure to an extent. We've chosen a college to go to, hopefully, and we will be choosing a career, and in the future, a husband or wife. We need to start speaking the truth of our manners. Just because we've become sophisticated in the ways of the world doesn't mean we have to become sophisticated without Christ. We need to be with Him through actions, not just through words and thoughts. I find it scary to hear that 50% of high school graduates leave the church. Sure, a few come back, but why leave in the first place? After tonight, a lot of us won't want to say goodbye, and we won't, because we have the television, the telephone, and letters. I'm nervous. But there will be someone who promises they'll write or they'll call, and they never will. You'll see them at reunions, and they'll make the same promises, but they won't follow through. How would you feel about that person? Now then, how do you think Christ feels about us when we neglect Him and then go back and promise and fall away and then go back? Most of us will have different jobs. We'll have taken different classes, have different more experiences, be married, maybe have children. Carla will probably be pregnant. We'll all have different... and married. And married. Oops. But like I said, we'll all have different lifestyles. But my challenge to you all tonight is to keep together in Christ, to keep Him close to your heart, and you will be blessed with feelings that no words can express. Keep the faith, good luck, and I love you all.